We got issues, guys. Took it out last night, made a couple of hits. Just came apart. Since Nate says I have to explain this to everybody. Explain it. All right, here we go. We're going to explain it. So basically what we're doing here is we're taking the cheap way out, the quick way out. So we're taking this brake line.
You said cheap. Yeah, you're trying to change it now. Cheap out on my stuff. You gotta change it now. Yeah.
So
taking the easy.
We're taking the cheap way out, and because you know we're just cheap asses around here. This car is not getting good parts. It's just getting hand-me-downs and everything else. This is a front brake line that goes to this wheel. This bottom brake line goes over to that wheel. So what we did was we put a T in, and we're going to come off the master cylinder here into his line lock, and then into this T. So this T is going to feed both brake lines. This is just the way we decided to do it because it should be the easiest. When it's all said and done, we'll pull everything up real nice and tight, like this. Probably let him polish up his brake lines because you know how he is with his 4/0 steel wool. Let him go to town on it. But this was the easiest setup for us.
Less intrusive.
Yeah, for sure. And I think it's going to work out great. He's freaking out right now because he sees this. We'll make it look good when it's all said and done. It's going to go in line kind of like this. It's going to shoot across here and then back up to the master cylinder like that. Something like that anyway. We'll see. Spray it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's old stuff. That's from Alpha Ford. Way back.
So what are you doing, Roger? What are you doing?
Just cleaning. The key messed up on my brake lines. I bet I can get up in there.
I knew it, see? I knew it. I knew if he ever gets 4/0 steel wool in his hands, shit is over.
I didn't know nothing about it until I messed with it that day on the 65.
Well, the good thing about it is if you take it off over here, then he can fix his angles over there.
Yeah. Yeah, we can go ahead and do some bending. Need to go ahead and get this shit squared away right here. For sure. Because we know this is going to go there.
There ain't going to be no much fixing over there because they already got the length ran.
Never.
Well, we know we were supposed to do it today. We didn't get out of bed.
Whoa.
Kinda. Well, yeah, it looks like something's loose.
It's this little bracket. For whatever switch this is, I have no idea.
That's not a fun job right there, but it's one of those things you get after it and eventually you'll be done with it, and when you are, it is what it is. The rest of this stuff, you know, bending the brake lines and things like that, it's really not too bad, but that under the dash, it'll wear you out. It's pretty rough. So he's polished his brake lines out. He hadn't got the lower brake line done yet, but they're going to tuck up nice and neat in there like that. We're going to leave him be under the dash. He'll be done in the next couple hours, and we'll move on.
Precision machining.
I guess we haven't really talked about it, but you have to drill a hole in the pedal for your new brake setup.
Yeah, the factory pedal ratio or whatever is like 4:1 or something like that, and they call for a 6.5:1 ratio for manual brakes. So a lot of people, when they go to manual brakes, that's why it's so hard, or they don't work great. Apparently, it's because they don't drill. So it wants you to change that pivot point lower, and that creates a new ratio or whatever.
Really easier, take it all out like that, but there's this assembly there.
We were gonna do my rear brakes today, but I overslept, and then he slept.
Yeah. John Haight was over to handle the rear end duty, but we got issues, guys. Took it out last night, made a couple of hits, just came apart. All I can say is she really liked the 300 shot, but it was a little much. I'm joking. All we're doing is welding in a bung. So I talked with Tim over at ACES, and he recommended that I move the wideband sensor on the car because it is in the stock location of the BBK headers in the long tube. So it needs to be moved back. I'm cool with that. I also am a little worried because I did the exhaust work on this car and there's a good chance it's got an exhaust leak. So we got to make sure we don't have any exhaust leak past that, because where the collector comes together at, anything downstream from that, if it's sucking air, blowing air out, whatever, it's going to mess up our reading. So we should be good, but I'm just letting you guys know it could be worse and we have to take this thing down and fix it all. Here's where we're currently in at. This is the location. This is stock location for the BBK. Here's the collector. We're gonna move back to probably center this, which should be about right actually. Probably right in here is where we're gonna put our bung at. If I put it right here, I'm never gonna be able to get this off. So it really can't go here, it needs to come on out. So we'll see what we can do. I think it'll be just fine. We'll give it just a slight angle, just enough for this to pass by the cross member. Don't worry guys, the battery is disconnected, so we should be good here. I weld all the time with all my electronics hooked up, but I recommend you guys don't do that, because if there's ever a problem, it's gonna be on you. So I told you that ACES really listens. Well, I called them up and I told them the little issue I was having with the, once the car kind of gets warm, it doesn't want to idle down. And Tim seems to think that it's probably an oxygen sensor issue or wideband sensor issue because of the location. Not saying that that is the problem, but he doesn't like where it's currently located anyway. So we're gonna go ahead and give this a try. We don't know if it's gonna fix it or not, but either way, if this doesn't fix it, it's just gonna be a tuning issue. It's gonna have to be at just a slight angle, but guys, I think that'll work right there. First off, we'll drill a pilot hole. So I want to countersink this just a little bit, because that's way out there and we want this thing to go in a little bit deeper. So I'm gonna go ahead and countersink this just a little bit. That would probably be about right, but let's go ahead and drop it in a little. Perfect. All right, that looks like a good location to me. Maybe not angled down, we'll angle it up. I'm gonna recess this thing ever so slightly, about like that. And we'll put us a tack weld on it and call it good. I like the placement of that. It's recessed just a little, so that looks really good. Now what we're gonna do is leave this one where it is, just to seal the hole up essentially. And then we'll move our new sensor over here. It was over here on the driver's side, but we'll leave this one in as well because we got a new sensor. So we'll just leave all these sensors in place just to plug holes. And I think our connection is, it's up in here somewhere. There it is. There's our connection. So we'll just move the connection over to the other side up there, right here, and we should be good to go. I don't think there's any leaks there. Yeah, should be good. So we got the bung welded in, the wideband installed, the new wideband, and this thing done great. Instead of idling up for 2 or 3 minutes when it's hot on a restart, now it's only about 10 to 15 seconds. Roughly, something like that. From what I can tell, this seemed to fix the problem. So huge shout out to Tim over at ACES for helping me out, giving me this idea, because I'm going to be honest with you, I never would have thought that would have been the problem, but now you guys know. If you have a set of BBK headers or any long tubes and the bung is before the flange, then more than likely that's going to be the wrong spot. I'll get you guys out here in the next week or so. We'll take the Calypso out, beat on this thing. Also, I've got a really cool video coming up on Pop's truck with the exhaust. I think you guys will love that. And then we've got our drop beams coming in as well. So we'll have this thing slammed, and then it's just a matter of ordering some wheels and tires, do the interior. A lot of cool videos coming up. Sorry, this one kind of fell flat, I guess. With that being said, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this video up. And as always, thanks for watching.